When the devil's in the mood, nightmares come pouring out of hell.
So you're saying we had a man locked up in a cage? That was actually an alligator.
Mm-hmm.
And we had him labeled as such. Do you know much about this character?
I have his file right here.
Ah. Okay. Yeah. He was a biologist. And he had an experiment not go well. And he got transformed. We didn't think much of. We were just keeping him safe.
Alligator Hulk.
Well, see, I went and looked at the cage that he was in,
Yeah.
and it's not one of the, like, secured cages. If I was in it, I could open it easily.
So you're saying he could have somehow opened it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he was learning how to change back some, he was just straight up an alligator. We found him in his room. We weren't even sure if that's who he was until we did DNA and found 2 layers of genetics, one a recessive, that showed what we believed to be him. So you say maybe he escaped.
And I believe he may be responsible for the other ones.
Huh.
Alligator Man.
Well, that would explain the mud skipper. He could have ate it.
If you could catch it.
Well, it's not that hard.
You're not even here!
Oh, sorry, just talking to myself.
Sounds in the air. Ghost! Call a ghost hunter. The girl ones, they look like they were fun. She doesn't care for the boy ones. So, interesting. And I guess he could have gone to some of the other ones. Or could have just accidentally let them out somehow and they escape. So we got to find him, basically, like, if we find him.
I have a...
Do you think that's what Linda saw back there?
And it's back to her.
Well, she kind of made it into the press situation.
Well, I do have to come clean. I was back there with
Yeah.
Chase. Not doing the little chorus stuff that Linda was doing with Troy.
Well, of course not. Okay.
But,
Awful defensive sounding, though.
I have a reason to believe that he is in the swamps.
Okay.
There's footprints, when I was following the footprints, I heard a large splash into the water.
So you know if he might be sticking somewhat close.
I believe so.
Interesting. What do you got about any of the other ones? Find information or anything? Or are we going to go with he ate them all?
Well, we know about the crab.
Yeah. That's 2. I think there were 6.
The egg is missing.
Yes. Which, I guess we're back to he ate it, maybe?
Honestly, I'm not pointing fingers or anything. I'm just letting you know that Sylvia was there the day before this all happened, checking on the egg, and she hasn't been in the labs for like a couple months. Then all of a sudden, they call her in to check out that egg. 'Cause I guess it was putting off icy ores or something like that.
Yeah.
And it came up missing the same day.
So what we got left is an avian, an owl, more specifically. And, well, the mud skipper.
Mud skipper might be in the swamp.
Yeah. The mammal. I believe it was a cat. And, well, we've found the crustacean. What do you have on the cocoon? Or the egg?
Not much. I talked to Sylvia today about it.
Okay.
And she said, yeah, she was there looking at it the day before it happened.
Ah.
That's how I know it was putting off icy vibes.
Okay. Give me a second. She takes the phone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm talking to her right now. Yeah. Yeah, you came by the day before. Yeah, I heard, we've got film on that. Yeah, you told me you came by to see. Well, we asked you to look at it. Well, she pointed out something that I hadn't realized. It was putting off cold all this time, slowly increasing. Reports on it the day before it disappeared, after that point, showed no temperature. Yeah, I do think so. No, I understand why. It's just... Well, I'm going to tell her. Well, if we're hoping she's going to be reasonable with us on all this, we should be honest. Okay. Then you can just continue to do what you're doing, and I'm going to do what I do. Thank you. Change the phone. Okay. You don't have all the footage.
No, I don't.
No, there's other footage in the lab, but just the labs have. From cameras and stuff like that. From the monitors on the cameras, or on the computers. That. I had something I was suspecting, and you see the temperature changed on it. It was so cold, but it wasn't radiating cold. And that night, it seemed to just disappear. It was on the camera one moment. There was an explosion in the lab, and it was gone. The cage wasn't damaged, though. And it was still locked. But it was gone. I'm not sure on that how that was done for her. And she goes over and she hits a little button underneath her desk. The door's locked. It's okay. On that one, I suspected what had happened. It seems the claim is it happened just at the same time that this other happened. The egg was a creature in early stages. It's a lizard-like creature. Problem is, at certain points, it was discovered that they would be born and then they would die. They usually had a bond to something, to a mother or something. So, it looks like she facilitated a chip made to assist in this bonding so it could bond to something else and therefore maybe it would survive infancy. It was another experiment in one of the labs here.
Hello, and if you've enjoyed some of our work that you've seen here, please do me a favor and click there over on Patreon corner, and you can see you can become a patron, and for like $1 a month you can give me input on anything that you think would be good to continue on. So we do so much different things, and it's hard to see what people want to see next. So become a contributor as well as have an opinion on what we do next. Thank you. Let's see here going. Where's the Baron's house? Yep, that's where we go. There's a little button. Bam! Cheapest house I ever bought. A lot of other stuff though of mine's expensive. Buy a city fountain, $500. That's like buying 5 of my houses. Oh, hey. How you doing? Decided to get a quick selfie. Quick. He's just kind of a, nice looking robe on him. Fire looks nice too. But I probably should. I was doing something. I cannot remember what I was doing next. Let's see. We got you here. We got your stuff. I got my house. Man, this wait just taking too long. Okay. Yeah. See, I like that animation though. That little like stops, looks around. That's cool because see, we don't have to program that. That's like already like a free gift from the Roblox company. Here we go again. Looking around, wonder what's going on. See, I already got your stuff. Got a fire here. I think oh yeah, this is a good place to start from here. Well, I've already started, but it's a nice shot. I like just for a basic little game. Let's get these nice little effects I kind of like. What the? Okay. Well, got that going. So let's go ahead and we gotta check this next thing here, which is a new fountain, which should be a little costly. $500. We're gonna look around the house though a little bit, I guess, first. It's kind of nice. Got a nice fire here. Nice little chair. I kind of left this open because I'm thinking about having it when other areas get finished and other maps. Maybe things would be added to your home here, or I might leave it open some if I explore the PvP concept more later on, instead of just being a solo game. So, but let's go check that fountain out. See, at $500 for a fountain. Jeez, being the Baron, things get expensive. Wonder how much eggs cost. Bam! Oh, we got the nice water spraying up into it. That's not bad. And I got a fountain with time-frozen butterflies. That creeps me out a little bit. Okay, and let's see. They said I had to build the Baron's home and stables. So he's the closest guy. Let's see what he's got to know on this. Oh, what do you want to know? What's missing here? See if we get the Pony Express up and running. I have a son in the city. He wants to talk to. Oh! Yeah, well. That's the other one you're talking about here. Where's the stables? Down by the river near the docks. Oh, well, that's what I wanted to know. Thanks. I'll come back to the Pony Express after I have ponies. Okay. Now, little opening there. Oh, horse stables. I need some horses. Boom, horses. Somebody take care of the horses. Stable. Farmer John. And then we got, oh no, I've like discriminated against the non-John farmers. Fences. Got to keep those horses from wandering off freely. Now we'll go deal with the other guy's complaint. I've already built how much stuff, and this guy's still, I want a Pony Express. Actually, Pony Express will open up Pony Express in other areas later on, you'll find. And sometimes taxes will show up for you in areas that you might need it. Oh, and I'll give you a little clue. You remember that ruins area? On top of that, since I made that video, I have added some gold locations. So it's worth it to check out other areas in it, because there is a reward now. Now, that house is 500, and the Pony Express furniture, that's why my house don't have furniture. It's too goddamn expensive. Pony Express place, which I really like. You do the zoom in look and you walk around and it's like, I was out beating up rocks today in the woods. It was great. It's fun. Take a nap over here. Hey, it's a blue spot in my front yard. Get that blue spot. Buy a mailbox. Oh, now I'm going to get bills. And a bench. Okay. Well, that's, in case there's going to be people like taking wagons places. And there's a horse takes care of the actual work. You can get on it, but he don't go nowhere. I'm a baron. I'm not qualified to do this kind of stuff. So now, one thing you really got to remember, which is this is all just the beginning, the first map of the game. We're going to be running on over here where this road takes us, which before, if you remember the signpost, this pointed to like another place. Here we go. There's towers 1 and 2. Remember when we were there earlier, playing our little Mario style jumping up and down the towers game, and here we go. Now this, I'm removing this this gate. It takes a little too long, I think. It's too much graphic for no reason. So, we're going to go off to another realm now. We're going to get a little look around. Now, sometimes the tycoon thing doesn't work so well from other realms, and you're not going to get money through it all. So, you're going to need to set up some extra funds. Get some backlogs so you're not stuck over there with no money. And if you've got enough, I would say at least 1,000, which means your counter will say 0. And then you go ahead, jump on through. You should be all right. Because problem is you may not be able to return back to this area, all depending on your computing power of your system. I find my computer can't, but the Xbox can, oddly enough. So, here we are. New realm. Look around. It's called The Fields. Thank you.
I would appreciate it if you could please go over and click on the subscribe and hit the notifications so you can know next time we have something new coming on. And sorry for the interruption, but back to the show. Moments in History 125. The Mormons at Salt Lake, the Deseret Store. In 1847, the Mormons, also known as Latter-day Saints, arrived on the shores of Salt Lake, Utah, where Brigham Young, his authority absolute, sought to set up his empire. More than 15,000 came to his tiny city. While the element of polygamy has received popular attention, it must be remembered that Young was one of the great colonizers of history because by irrigation he made the desert produce. Furthermore, the stores which the Mormons set up, such as the one pictured here at Salt Lake City, did a thriving business with the weary California seekers. In the later part of the 19th century, the Mormons made permanent peace with the United States and abandoned the practice of polygamy officially. he has it now. He doesn't know the full issues of it all yet, but he is being observed.
It wouldn't happen to be the guy from the circus. I think his name's Aries.
Not that I know of. I don't know of an Ares listed as any of our test subjects at any time, but we could also check some of the other sites. It could have been more along the military side, and we may not have seen it in here. Have you met anyone with this name?
Up at the circus.
Okay, you're getting pretty good at this. Investigating stuff. We'll keep an eye on you. But let's put it this way. Fat Lady, that's the name she goes by now, and Strong Man were both here in experiments that were related to the crab. About density and weight and gain. Because the crab had done this before, when he gets panicked. We were trying to find out what it was so we could stop it from doing it. Or at least find a way that we could maybe... One theory was to replicate it for using crabs for like cattle, for food. They're actually pretty resilient and can live on a lot of stuff that most can't. They're scavengers. Now, these are unusual creatures that have been being found here and there. It could be some mutation going on. Reverse? Oh, we reversed it?
Oh, I thought you were talking to...
I was, but how we were talking to you for a second, you were out.
Oh,
She fell asleep last time. Don't worry about it. It's not. We're just summing up anyways.
okay.
Make sure we got everything. So she's found out some more stuff about the animals. It wasn't so much an escape, it seems, as a few here and there, but it seems a lot of them went at the same time.
Basically, somehow...
Okay, now on to, we'll finish on yours. Is your situation is, first of all, the military doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
They won't talk to me anymore.
You know what they're talking about as far as the item they're talking about they've hidden. It is a black textured suit. It covers the whole body. It seemed to be made of plastic as far as it looked like to you. Didn't seem to have any money, didn't seem to have any weapons or anything on it directly. Like no guns, no backpack or anything. But you know, they've been studying super soldier suit concept for years now. So it could be so along those lines. But they don't want you to have any proof of it. Now, what you need to do is set up and decide on how you want to go about best way to go and search that building again.
Yeah.
See if there's any proof on that. Just like as well, and maybe think about this until we game next, if we do game tomorrow. First two issues, and I'll give you these to like focus on because of your genius. This would give you this enough to like look in this direction. You've been more focused on where have they gone. But you're going to find out more about what is going on. Thinking about issues like how'd they get taken? Who took them? Who may have known enough about them?
Yeah.
Why were they left where they were? And then, what happened here? What happened here has to be related because whoever had your guns ended up here stealing canisters and leaving your guns.
That's what blows my mind is why did he leave the guns?
So those are notes if you want to sit down and write
Yeah.
and see when you work out the details on it. Yours, you're getting pretty far on finding out what happened to the animals here and there. Let's go down the list. Alligator is possibly running out in the swamp. Issue in your mind could be if he is a human, he's being hunted as an animal right now. Okay, next is the owl. Checking through records now more intently because she's also being more willing to give you more records and more access to stuff. Because she wants to know too. Make sure they're safe. The owl had this weird effect that when it was in the cage, if it woke up and the cage was uncovered, the lights would go out in that room. Until they covered the cage, the lights would come back on. The one thing you'll find is an unknown at the time, but later on now you found. There's two issues. One, yes, you found all the information in the picture and everything of the subject you're talking about, and the guy you saw across the street. And you were introduced as Ares. That's not his name. His name is unknown. Also known as Circus Geek. That's all he's got for a name. You find something that kind of shows that he kind of changed his name. It's not an official legal name change yet. To the name Ares. Which is actually, if you look up the name, it's the name of a gun. You have an AK? It's actually the name of two companies. Ares, and I can't remember the other name of the company. But Ares still makes guns now, automatic guns. So he may have seen one, which is odd. The experiment was done on him by Fort Maxwell.
But you're not going to talk to them because they won't talk to you.
Nope, they won't talk to me.
You guys haven't talked to each other. So, and you're going to need some help on investigating this room. You know, this bunker. And some better lights. Or coming here during the day, but still there's not lights in here much. You got to think about how they got him out of here. Barrels are not light. And there's no, you can't drive a forklift around here. And if you came in with a, now what you could do is you come in with a heavy enough level boat,
You might be able
wide enough base that wouldn't sink so much, and then have a crane on it. But someone should have seen that. And the only thing you do have to keep in mind is there were Indians sighted in the area off and on. On the reports by the old guard, he'd seen Indians right around the outside edge. He doesn't know what they're doing out there. He feels like some kind of guy at a fort. They're not fired at him or anything like that. He's heard gunshots and stuff, but nothing at him. They're probably out there hunting. But he doesn't know, and it made him nervous. And then this all happened, and he's dead now. And those are straight up the Seminole Indians tribe that he's talking about out there. But you also have people that live in the swamp. Just swamp people. We're not talking like lizards or anything. They're just people live in the swamp. There's a movie or TV series about them on her History Channel. Swamp people. They also believe in Loup Garou, but that's beside it. So, there we go. I'll work up some karma for next time. Because especially you found out a lot more on the animal stuff. Give you some stuff to think about. You have a lot you got to like piece together. As far as, because it had to do with robbery at your place.
Yeah.
Details, if you want to think about, is it was a upper story job. You have no proof that anyone got in. like ran in across the ground or went over the fence or something like that.
Can't figure out how they get it in and out.
Yeah. Maybe they teleported. Bye-bye.
Don't I?
Yeah.
Spooky.
Now, as we see here, all along the edge, you kind of see it there. I got this edge, and I squared off the end here because you don't want to get the plaster behind there because then it will trap the thing. See, I kind of straightened that out. Now, so when I lay this down, I'm going to coat it with a ceramic plaster first. Now, ceramic plaster has much higher density and shows better detail. And then the plaster of Paris just to hold it all. Because that's just to hold the mold shape. The stuff that's actually detailing the mold will be, well, I'm using just this stuff here. Pottery plaster. For use in ceramics. Gotta keep the cost down. And then on the props we made, because those are set flat on the surface here, went ahead and cardboard and tape, made a dam around the edge with space for the plaster going to, and I'll do the same with those as I was talking about with this. Got that one there, the other one over here. That's the antler. That's the ear. That's the bunny head. Now we're just gonna have to paint the stuff on. The ceramic plaster Now you see I've taken the plaster, mixed it up, poured it along, covering, fully covering, kind of gooping it on in the end. First brush it nicely to get in all the details, then goop it over it to cover fully the shape. I'm going to be putting more plaster on it, but there'll be a cheaper plaster after this. But since that plaster's not going to be touching the actual molding, it doesn't need to be as dense and as strong. And as expensive. So, now, we go ahead, mix some more, and paint the head. Now you mix this stuff at about 1 pound per 11 ounces water. Now make sure you don't get it on your hands. I've gotten some. You should probably be wearing gloves. Be careful when you're stirring it, not to get in your eyes. Wear eye protection. Or sunglasses, I'll do until I need. Got an ugly pair for this. And you mix it to about a pancake batter consistency. And then I go on and paint and pour it in there. Especially through the eye sockets, because that's actually the area that when you're setting this thing, that's the only part of the mold that the mask will be resting on the head piece and giving it support when you lay it all together. So you want to get that nice, because that's going to be your contact point. Get all the crevices, any of the detail spots, like the nostrils on this thing. Make sure you get lots of this higher density ceramic in there. Now, once you get that on there, you'll take the rest of this, or if you need, and you don't have much, go ahead and mix a little bit more. So what you want to do is this, pour it over it, and get yourself to like a 1/4 inch depth if you can. If you do get it on your hands, wash it off immediately and do not touch your eyes. That's a step one of doing the molding. Tomorrow, like you see on these ones, the cardboard case things I made around them, I'm gonna make the same thing for this, but on a larger scale to contain the regular plaster pairs I pour in it. And at that point, once that all sets, we can take this out, wash out all the clay, and we get things ready for the next step, the actual molding. But here we go with step 2 on this process. Step 2, we're doing the first stage on the molding. If money's not an issue, you could just buy the ceramic heavy duty plaster, make the whole thing out of that. It makes a really strong mold, but not really necessary, especially since I may not be making 3 or 4 of these or stuff like that. But just in case, it's good to plan a little bit ahead. And this stuff makes really nice detail. Gives it a nice texture. So any details you put on the clay remain. So, well, there we go. Thank you. And soon will be step 3.